Hey everybody, welcome to Uncle Drew's Kitchen, where we are going to learn how to pickle beets Greek style. Let's start with a 5-pound bag of beets, wash them and set them in the bowl. Next are knife skills. Make sure to always sharpen your knives. It's going to help throughout the entire process. To start, we're going to trim both ends of the beet. Knife skills here, make sure your middle finger guiding knuckle for your knife. Always protect your fingers. Let's continue on until we have all of our beets nicely trimmed and washed and ready for boiling. Once we set them to boil, we're going to look to have them in the pot for approximately 30 minutes, and we're going to check them with a fork to check for the tenderness. We certainly don't want them soft or mushy, but we don't want them rock hard. We just want to be able to pierce through that beet so it's nice and tender. Checking every 5 minutes after the first 30. While our beets are boiling, let's dice up 1 full head of garlic and 1 full red onion and set them aside for later on. Once our beets are done boiling, let's drain this nice nutrient-filled beet juice and set it aside in a jar or a bowl for later on. Once we've drained the nice beet juice and set it aside, let's leave our beets in the pot and let's let them cool anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes because they're going to be very hot to the touch and a little bit harder to hold while you're trying to peel them. When boiled correctly, the peels are going to come right off these beets, no problem at all. Let's also be sure once we set the beets that are peeled in a bowl, we don't rinse them. We don't want to wash away all those nice nutrients that are coming inside this great vegetable. This beet looks great. It's all shiny and pretty and ready. Let's continue on peeling until all of our beets are done and prepared and fresh and shiny and sitting in our bowl, ready for the next step. Pro tip here, wash your hands frequently as you're going along. It's going to be a little bit easier to take the red stain off them, or wear some non-latex gloves. Already, don't these just look beautiful? Okay, so now we're ready. Slice or dice, it's your choice. Just be very careful. Beets are very slippery, so remember your knife skills. Let that middle finger, the knuckle, be the guiding light for your knife. Protect your fingers at all times. Now, once we're done slicing or dicing, we're going to be ready to transfer all these beets into this 1-gallon jar. We want to start by transferring approximately 1/3 of the sliced or diced beets into the jar. Now that we have our first set of beets transferred in the jar, we're going to give it a little shake and then begin the layering process with our garlic and red onions from earlier on in the process. Approximately 1/3 of each onion and garlic are going to go on top of that first layer of beets, approximately 1.5 teaspoons of each garlic and red onion. And then we're going to start by layering in another set of the 1/3 of the beets that we sliced or diced from earlier on. And then after that, we're going to do more garlic and more red onions on top of that. And then the last part of our beets are going to go right on top of that. And we're going to top it off with more garlic and more diced onions. Now, each time you add something to the jar, whether it be beets, red onion, or garlic, or all three, give the jar a little bit of a shake. Just be gentle with it so we can maximize the volume in that jar by leveling everything out. Now, you may have also noticed I'm working with a towel, whether it be under my cutting board, under the jar, under the bowls, because those beets could stain your countertop or make it more difficult to take that redness away. I recommend putting a towel over your cutting surface or your cooking surface just to make things easier for you when you go along later on. And then also wipe your hands down as frequently as possible. It's going to help you out and save you some time later. Okay, now that we've finished the transfer process of beets, red onion, and garlic, we're gonna give our jug a little bit of a shake, 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 level everything out. Now, what would food be without spice? Let's get that pepper grinder and grind a little bit. Say it with me in Greek. Ένα, δύο, τρία, τέσσερα. 4 nice grinds of pepper. One of my favorite herbs is oregano. Say it with me in Greek and really roll that R. Regani, regani. Oh, what the heck, a few more sprinkles of oregano because it's so fun to say. Regani. Now that we seasoned our beets, let's give the jug a little bit of a shake before we get to my favorite part. Here's my favorite part, 500 mils of red wine vinegar. A pro tip here, take off the cap, it's gonna be easier to pour, or we can even say it in Greek. Say it with me, Exivi apo kinokrasi. Our final ingredient is extra virgin olive oil. Let's fill it right up to the top to cover all of the beets. So it doesn't necessarily need to be the top of the jar. We're gonna have a little bit of an air pocket in there, but let's cover all of our beets. We can also try saying extra virgin olive oil in Greek. Say it with me, extra partheno eliolado. And just say it faster like all my relatives used to say, we couldn't understand it anyways. Okay, everything's inside our jug. Let's just give it a little gentle shake, swirl everything out. Make sure everything's leveled off, and now we're gonna add the cover to the jug. Once we cover the jug up, nice and tight, we're gonna start a little gentle shake, turn the bottle side to side, a little bit of a shake here, a little bit of a shake there. Now we're gonna start turning and turning and turning. And then we're gonna start doing a little bit of what we call a shake and roll, shake and roll, shake and roll. Your forearms are gonna hurt a little bit here, but trust me, it's gonna be worth it in the long run. Keep shaking, keep churning, keep turning, keep rolling. Shake and roll, shake and turn. We're not done. Six, trophy, six, trophy, six, trophy. Come on. Okay, so now that we've had all of our fun shaking and rolling and turning and burning this nice jug of finished beets, you'll notice under the cap, I've added a layer of plastic wrap, and then I've put the cap back on and sealed it tightly. What this is gonna allow you to do is once you put your beets up in the cupboard or the cabinet, the pantry, wherever you might store them, you're gonna be able to turn that jug over and leave it rest because we don't want everything settling on the bottom. So if we can flip this over, let everything now settle, which is your top of your jug, it's going to help prevent leakage if we have that plastic wrap on there. So make sure you've added some plastic wrap and then sealed everything tightly. And then you notice our smaller jar, we've got our nice nutrient-filled beet juice. Have a shot of that every other day, whatever your nutritionist or doctor prescribes for you, that's going to be good for you too. So now you've got a nice jar full of nutrient-filled and enriched beet juice, and you've got 1 gallon full of nice pickled beets. Give that a week or two, and you are going to love them Greek style. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, if you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and share, and come on back to Uncle Drew's Kitchen for more great recipes.